Welcome to the web scraping community. Thank you for subscribing. This video is for those who are brand new to web scraping, who would like an overview of what it is, how it's used, and exactly what to do now that you've subscribed to the web scraping subscription. So I'll jump right in. Web scraping is essentially where you're looking at a store like Kohl's here or Dick's, and you're looking at the different products and you're saying, okay, these products are on clearance or they're on sale. Let me look at a product, and then you'll say, well, can I sell this on Amazon? So usually you have some idea of sourcing and the manual process that it takes to go through these and figure out, okay, if I try to find this exact shoe on Amazon, then I'm going to have to try to look and see what different sizes are available, which ones are the best selling, which ones have the most reviews, and going through that whole manual process. Well, what web scraping does is it takes this entire listing, downloads it, and extracts the information that we need in order to compare that to the exact match on Amazon. So not only does it just take this one product, but it takes every color, every size, and all the different variants. So for every single one of these, it'll go through, it'll eliminate the ones that are out of stock, it'll focus just on the ones in stock, and it'll download that information, which is then queried or looked up against Amazon using Keepa to find those exact matches, and then it's going to give us all the information of, is that profitable or not? So without web scraping, you're looking at a very manual process to go to a site. And the problem is you're going to see a bunch of different products. You can click on a sale or anything that they might have here, or even do a search like Nike. And you're going to come up with a ton of different things, but you don't know which one of these are actually on Amazon. And when you look on Amazon, you might find ones that look very similar, but end up being a different product. And if you were to sell that on Amazon and a customer bought it thinking it's one product and actually getting another, then you're facing a return. You might even get limited by Amazon or negative feedback, things like that. So web scraping's advantage is we're matching the products exactly one-to-one, every color and variant. And you can see some of these, like when you're looking at pants, like if I were to go through manually one by one for all these different color options and all these different sizes, it would take forever. And I don't even know if this would be a good selling product. So you can immediately see that if I'm able to download this information and have it do that for me, that's going to be a huge advantage. So the why of web scraping should be pretty obvious. The how of web scraping, the good thing is it's fully automated. What you're looking for to set it up is you're doing a search on a site. So this is an example of a search I did, Nike. It gives me results. It says there's 17,000 products on here. If I go down to the bottom, it'll tell me how many pages there are. So it goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can tell how many pages I want on the scrape. And you can get a general idea. If there's 48 products per page and there's 17,000 products, there's going to be, hundreds of pages that you could go through. Another thing that I like to do is sometimes it'll say most relevant or featured. I like to use top seller or best comments, things like that, just so that I know these are the ones that tend to move the most. And when I find those on Amazon, those will also usually tend to be ones that have a good amount of sales. If you do buy on here it doesn't have it, but there's other ones that'll say like best rating. And that's another way of kind of filtering out the ones that may be products that people aren't really buying or rating, so that you're focusing on the ones that are moving the most. So, but you can see with all these shoes, especially, all those variants is a huge advantage. Now, if you're searching something like Best Buy and you're searching for a refrigerator or something like that, obviously there's only going to be one variant. So if you're looking at a laptop or if you're looking at a video game, you're not going to have as many variations of that on a listing. Like for headphones, there's Maybe it comes in 2 or 3 colors. So they'll have a few variants, but not as many as close. But again, web scraping will still download that information. The things that it downloads are the price, so you know what your buy cost is, any discount that you may have. So maybe they're having a coupon, say take 20% off with this code. You could put that into the scrape so that it automatically takes that 20% off, so you can see, is it profitable with that coupon code. It'll grab things like the title, the availability, the SKU, the UPC, information that we need in order to match it directly to Amazon. And essentially what you'll get is a spreadsheet like this that you've probably already seen. But this is all of the information downloaded from a scrape. And you can see in here it has, like I was saying, the UPC, the ASIN, the link to the product on Amazon, the link to the product on the retail website, the title, cost, price, the calculated profit, return on investment, sales rank, and a bunch of other information here that you can use to see like offers, how much competition there are, availability, what's been the price the last 60 days, the last 180 days, how many reviews are there. Obviously, the more reviews on a product, the better it's likely to sell, that variant. And it has the model and shipping costs, things like that. So this is the spreadsheet that you'll eventually work off of. But again, going back to how you make that spreadsheet is a matter of going in and coming up with the URL that you want to use for your scrape. So if I'll go ahead and use Kohl's as an example. Kohl's has Kohl's Cash right now, which means I get a 20% discount. And say I wanted to scrape their clearance. So obviously when you're looking for sourcing for Amazon, you're going to want to find things that are on sale that have some sort of discount, whether it's cash back, coupon code, clearance, whatever it may be, so that you can get that margin so that you can buy it at a sale or a discount, turn around and sell it on Amazon at the normal price, and then you'll be making a profit. So if I were to click this clearance, you see, again, it brings up a search that I can use. So clicking on banners like clearance or this sale or anything like that, that brings up search with a number of results. That's what you're going to be using to actually set up your scraping. So here it gives me a list of results. If I go down to the bottom, it's going to tell me the number of pages total that I could scrape. I don't have to scrape all 85. I could do, say, 15, 20, 50, how many that you want. The more results and the more things that you're scraping, obviously the better chance you're going to have a bigger sheet to work with that you can then filter and sort and focus on just those ones that are really good profit or really good ROI. So once I have the search I want, for instance, this is the clearance, I'll just select that top URL, right click and do copy. So now I have this copied that I could use for my scrape. If I go to the actual Start Scrape button, you can see here it gives me the list of retailers that we currently have supported. I'll select Kohl's, which is what I got for that scrape. And then it's going to ask me, do you want to use a general search term like shoes or Nike, or do you want to put in a URL that you've already grabbed? In this case, I'll do that URL. I'll hit 2 and press enter. Now I'm pasting that URL that I copied, and then it's going to ask me for the number of pages. So if you recall, there is 85 total. I'll just put in, say, 25 pages. And then the discount that I want. So this is going to be if I have a coupon code, if I have top cashback or Rakuten, or if I know there's a discount such as Kohl's Cash. This is where I can put in the amount that I want it to discount the advertised price, or the price that's displayed. So if I hit 20, here it'll then start the scrape by loading that search URL that I put in. So the first thing you'll notice is it takes that same URL that I just pasted. Here's my clearance sale. The scrape is going to block images and videos and things to save bandwidth. But if you scroll down, you'll be able to see that there's a bunch of those products here. And that is basically going through each page and grabbing the links to those products and it'll then go through and download the actual products themselves. And then at the end of that process, and I'll close this just to show, is where you're going to basically get this fully formatted sheet. And then that's where you're going to be able to do your sourcing off of. Once you have the sheet, again, you have the links you have here. I like to open this in Excel. To do that, if I have my scraped folder here, so once the scrapes are done, it goes into the scrapes folder that you can use. So if I open, say, my batch folder and I go to the desktop, there's a scrapes folder, and that has all of the scrapes that I've done. And you could sort that by date modified, so you can see there's an Academy scrape. Now say I wanted to copy this down to my local desktop so that I could use my own Excel, my own browser with my plugins like SellerAmp and Keepa. All you have to do is right-click the scrape that's in that folder and do copy. You'll see there's a blue bar here when you're in the remote desktop session. I can just click this minimize or maximize button, and now you can see it's minimized, and I can move it off to the side. I can go into my own folder here, and I can go to my download section, right click, or go into any open space here, and then just do paste. So now it's going to put that Academy scrape that I just copied, and now it's open here that I can open it in my own Excel and start scraping and sourcing from that sheet on my local desktop. So that's a question we get a lot, is how can you take those scrapes and put them on your local machine? That's how you would do it. Of course, you could take the whole thing and do the same thing and copy and paste it that way. You can also open it directly onto the server. There's a program that looks very similar to Excel called LibreOffice Calc. And again, it has your links and it has everything. So if you want, you could just, click this and it's going to open up Edge and bring up the product that you can start looking at. The only difference is because it's not on your local machine, it's not going to have the same plugins that you would typically have, installed locally. So if I open this on my local machine, you can see when it opens Amazon, it's going to have additional information. It'll have my SellerAmp on here. It'll have Keepa. So this is going to help me for my product sourcing. You can install those plugins if you want on the Amazon server, on the virtual server. If you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. So there's multiple ways that you can do that. So the only other component that you're looking at is the number of products that you want to scrape. So if you're looking on the server and you're looking at these different options that you have, the how to scrape it is pretty much the same on all of these. So if I say I want to do a shop WSS scrape, the first thing I would do is just basically open shop WSS and see, do they have anything interesting that I want to scrape? Do they have a coupon? Do they have any offers? So again, big banner comes right here, top name, 60% off. As soon as I click that, now it takes us to that search where I could see there's 1,951 products if I want to scrape those. I can scroll down and see sometimes it's like infinite scrolling where I just keep scrolling and there are no separate page numbers. In that instance, it may ask me for the number of products rather than pages. But you can get a general idea. Usually there's around 24 products per page that it's scrolling through. So I can just say if I want 10, 15, 20, 25 products. But it's the same thing here. Here, when it's already on sale, you see this price. I don't have to enter a discount when I'm doing that scrape. So if it's asking me like what discount I want to apply, it'll already grab this discounted price. So I could put in 0 in this case if I don't have an additional coupon. But it always helps to look under sale to see if there's any like coupon codes. Here's like buy one, get one, which is essentially 25% off or 50% off. You can do clearance. So you can do all the different ones on here. And if you're looking for other deals, like you're trying to see like what would be a good thing to look at, you can go to Top Cashback, which is a site that I really like. That's going to list different things on here. They'll have different retailers. They'll have like different categories. So if you're looking at fashion, it'll tell you like Macy's has up to 12% cash back. Nike has 15% cash back. So the cash back stacks on top of any offers that the site itself may have. So again, if you're looking at Nike.com and you open that up and you go under sale and you're saying, okay, show me everything that's on sale right now. It'll say like the different percentages off, plus the cashback is going to stack on top of that. So the scraping is going to get the $98.97 price for this one. That's already going to know the discounted price. But with Top Cashback, it's now saying you could take 15% off of that. So when I go to this and I grab the URL, say I want to do a Nike scrape, all I would do is go here and select Nike from my list. And again, I would just paste in that URL. It'll ask me the number of products that I want from Nike because it uses the infinite scrolling. And then I'll just tell it the number that I want. So here I'll do 2 for the URL, paste that in, the number of products rather than pages. And if I go back and I wasn't sure how many there were, here there's up to 4,000. So do you want to do a scrape of 4,000? I mean, you can, but there is the bandwidth component. The bandwidth is about, for every gigabyte of bandwidth, you're looking at about 3,000 to 5,000 products scraped. So if you were to estimate that, say I did 3,000 or 4,000, this may cost me $5 in bandwidth. But the idea is, if I'm scraping that many products and I'm getting all the different variants that are on here, I'm scraping a sale and I'm getting 15% back on top of that, you should be able to find some really great leads. Even one purchase that you make and sell should more than cover anything that you're paying for the scraping or for the bandwidth. So I copy this, I see there's 4,000 products. I go back to my scraper, I'll say, okay, I want to get, say, 1,000 products. And then it asks you that discount. Here I'm going to put in that 15% because that's what Top Cashback said, 15% for Nike on online sales. So the only thing you need to remember is when you're making the purchase, you want to click on Top Cashback to make sure that you get credit for that sale. But that's a great way to manufacture your margin here. Once I do that, again, I hit enter, it's going to launch Chrome and start the process. The actual process of scraping is fully automated. You can keep an eye on it, but you can see it brings up that exact same search. It is now going to start scrolling through each of these pages, and it's telling me to scroll to get 1,000 products. It's going to scroll 42 times. And you can observe it, just make sure that it's actually doing what it's doing. And then after it does that, it goes through and pulls up each product individually, downloads the information, the price, the title, the UPC, the model number, the size, the color, the availability. All that information is downloaded and then put into our spreadsheet. All the information is first uploaded into Keepa, which again, you can observe, but it's fully automated. You don't need to log into your own account. And then at the end of the day, after the end of the scrape is run, you go back into your scraping folder, and that's where you're going to see the scrape. So if I close this, so we don't sit and watch that, again, I go back to my folders down here, my scrapes. Here's an example of a Nike scrape that I ran, and it's essentially what it's going to look like, where you're going through and able to source and scrape all of these, all the products. So that should be enough to get you started. We're adding new sites all the time, so you can see them in that. We have a Discord that you can follow. We have sheets that we make that are automatically copied to your scrapes folder. So as a subscriber, you can go in here and you'll see new sheets added pretty much every day for different sales and different things that we're doing in the background and providing to you as part of your subscription. If you have any questions, we're very active on Discord. Just send a request or a message. If there's a new site that you would like added, We have a channel for that. Just list it. We're going through and adding new sites every week. Thanks again for subscribing, and talk to you again soon.